I come from a town in England called Eastbourn, which is on the south coast of England, below London. And Eastbourne is next to Brighton. Brighton is famous. Most people have heard of Brighton. Nobody has heard of Eastbourne. Göttingen is a town of students. Eastbourne is a town of old ladies. Yeah, 60% of the population is over the age of 65 years old. And so this is a very different town to this. And we have all of these old ladies because one of the three famous things about Eastbourne, which is the sunshine. Eastbourne has got more sunshine than anywhere else in England. So we have 4 days per year. And because of this high quantity of sunshine, all of the old ladies retire to Eastbourne. So when their guys die, that's what guys do, yeah? The ladies say, yes, give them a kick, make sure, and then they retire to sunny Eastbourne. And so it's a great town, not for nightclubs, but for tea houses and coffee shops. The other famous thing about Eastbourne is a very depressing one. There's a cliff which is 160 meters from top to bottom, and it makes Eastbourne the second most popular place on the planet to kill yourself by jumping off a high object. Does anybody know place number one? No? Any guesses? No? No,
We use the bridge in Istanbul.
In Istanbul, they're not very, I think you do have quite a few people, but the Turkish are not very high on the list for jumping off bridges. Yeah, you have an optimism which is, America is number one. The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, they have 5 people per week. Eastbourne, we cannot compete with only 1 person per week, but ours is sustainable. So Eastbourne is a perfect place to grow up, a perfect place to leave as soon as you're 16, which is what I did. And I started traveling doing my first job, and actually the only job for which I have an official piece of paper. I'm a cook, an English cook. Do you know what an oxymoron is? An oxymoron is a 2-part statement. The first part is the negative of the second part. For example, military intelligence, yeah, or German coffee, yeah, or English cooking. And the English are not very famous for their cooking skills. And I was in Switzerland in a restaurant. My mother is Swiss. And I was working in a restaurant in Zurich, and my sous chef came up to me and he says, "Tim, you are English, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, Jean-Claude, how did you guess? Is it because of my very easy to understand English accent?" And he said, "No, you cannot cook." And so with this feedback, I decided to become a management consultant for the IT industry, and everything has been working a lot better since then. I live in Vienna, which is not so very far away from here. My main working area is Central and Eastern Europe, and has been for many, many years. My main client base is in the IT industry, where I do a lot of sales training for IT companies, and systems integrators and value-added resellers. And most of the vendors who come knocking on your door will at some stage have been through a solution sales training program run by me or one of my competitors. I do a lot of work in the pharmaceutical space, normally for presentation skills and rhetoric and communication skills. I've got a long 5 or 6 years of experience now doing conventions for hundreds and hundreds of doctors, teaching them speaker skills and speaker training at large congresses. And I do a lot of work in the FMCG space, that's fast-moving consumer goods, with leadership training and team building and different soft skills programs. And so the link into this program was very interesting, because when Andreas and I started speaking about it, it became very clear that the the sales focus and the business background of what the IT demand manager role was setting out to do, the experience of pharma, and it came together very nicely into a program which happened last year and happened this year as well. So in a minute, what we'll do is we'll start taking you through the process and how that builds up. But for now, could I just ask you, could you write your first names onto the cards in front of you with these nice big black pens? And then let's do the intro round.